welcome to our free Feng Shui monthly gathering. So our class today is all about Feng Shui for health and wellness. And Feng Shui it's such a powerful tool. It has transformed my life and how I look at the world when it found me and I found it maybe 25 years ago. But I'd always been practicing and always had that deep connection to creating sacred space and the land. But Feng Shui is just something that supports every single day of my life, my family's life, my home. And I really do see such a beautiful transformation in so many people's lives that work with it. So I would love, I'm going to go over things today, really simple things that you can take away and implement right away in your home. Like even if you left with a couple of tips that really resonated with you, that's amazing. And I know some of you that are here are already Feng Shui experts, and sometimes it's really nice to have some reminders, right? So I think, Feng Shui it's a reflection of what's going on internally, right? And it is your birthright for you to walk into your space and have your spirits rise. So that's always a really important question to ask yourself and to ask as you enter your home. Do your spirits rise or do they fall? And then I'm hoping for everybody they rise, but there's reasons why. Sometimes the home needs a clearing, sometimes there's clutter, there's many different reasons as to why. So I would love to dive in together and figure out some of the things that you can do to really raise the vibration in your home. So I'd say one of the most important things is only having what you love in your home, that which brings you joy, that which inspires you, that which evokes you to be in alignment with who you are and also where you want to go. Because a lot of time people's homes are really filled with things from the past, right? And because they got it in sale or they were given it or, for whatever the reason may be. So we really, really invite you to look around your home. And I almost rather that there's some space in the home, because, by letting go of things that you don't need, use or love, you're giving yourself space for things that you love to come in. So it's a matter of just really mindfully looking at your space, looking at your artwork, looking at the statues, looking at the furniture, looking at the rugs, the colors that you've consciously or unconsciously chosen, or what was just there or what you kind of settled with. And really asking yourself, do I like this? And what does this art or what does this piece represent to me? And is this supporting me? And, Feng Shui, it's like an inside job and an outside job. So as we do our inner work, we start to raise our own frequency, our own vibration. We do that inner healing. And so then we notice, oh, there's a misalignment. I really need to work on my home. But sometimes you work on your home and it invites you to do healing. And either way, it's like the home has its own vibration. It has its own spirit to it. And just as you do, right, your home has that too. So we really want to support the home, and when the home is thriving and happy, it supports even more for you. So I always invite people to do their inner work, to have their daily practices that support them to be in balance and alignment. And whatever that is, whether it's meditation, we'll talk about more of them, or whether it's dance, or whether it's running, or whether it's being out in nature, or spending time with people you love, or, sitting at your altar. Make sure that you're nourishing yourself daily and doing things to raise your own vibration. Speaking kindly to your home and giving it love and gratitude. So, sometimes you come in home and it's like, how do you speak to your home? You're like, oh gosh, I really need to do this. I need to do that. Or you're like, I'm so grateful, home. I'm so grateful for the shelter you give me. I'm so grateful for the running water, my bed, the dishwasher, the washing. Like, how blessed are we to have all of these things, And it's just like, how are we speaking to ourselves? Like, I don't know about all of you, but I have an inner critic, and the inner critic can be unkind sometimes. So it's really being mindful of how we speak to ourselves and how we speak to our home. Are you kind and are you compassionate with yourself? Right? Because just like anyone, when we speak to people kindly, a pet, a child, a friend, a loved one, like, they thrive and they blossom. But if we criticize and are unkind, they shrink. And just like we would with ourselves, and just like we would with our home, it's so important that, we speak kindly and that we're mindful of that. Simple things that we can do in our space, like removing our shoes and leave them at the door, because that's saying that's like a practical and a spiritual act, right? So by leaving our shoes at the door, we're saying, I'm leaving the outside world outside, and I have created this inner sanctuary, this sacred space that I want to keep clean energetically, physically. And so by leaving the shoes at the door, you're consciously creating this ritual every time you come in to give gratitude to your home and to leave the outside world out there. And be mindful about the energies that you bring in inside your home. I love every day as a practice, as a ritual, to open up all the doors and the windows and let the fresh air in. And of course, let the old, stagnant, stale energy out. So I like to do that, whether it's raining, whether it's windy, whether it's sunny, because I feel like if it's raining, it's cleansing the space. If it's windy, it's blowing away, the lower energies and the cobwebs. And if it's sun, that fire energy has the ability to transmute, to activate energies. So I love to work with the elements. But I have a ritual that I like to do every day, where I open up all the doors and the windows, and at the door, and I just invite in beautiful light-filled energy, beautiful opportunities. I invite in joy, I invite in laughter and love and prosperity and abundance and vibrant health. And just like, it's so beautiful to have our own rituals, right? So just like we have our own personal rituals, it's nice to have the rituals which involve our home too. So dancing in our home, singing in our home, playing in our homes are all things that raise the vibration of the space and raise our own personal vibration. It's really important that when you set up your home, you set your home up for you. If it's you and your family in there, if it's you as a couple in there. A lot of the time, because I've been in and out of over 30,000 homes and many different businesses like DreamWorks and Bloomingdale's, and I've gone in and out of so many homes where people have these extra bedrooms, guest bedrooms that are set up for guests that maybe come 1 week a year, right? And these rooms are set and left that way when people are craving for a meditation room, a yoga room, a music room, a dance room, a room of stillness, right? And so I invite you to create the space as you want to live your life. So if you live your life with that extra room, and there's extra rooms set up for the guests that come a week a year, that really represents, coming from this place of kind of people pleasing, right? Because why not create your beautiful room, and then maybe for the week the guests are coming, move it in, like shift it, that for the 1 week in the year, or how often it is. But creating your space for that, which raises your vibration, that brings you joy, that creates that health and wellness in body, mind, and spirit. So whatever that is, create the home for you and your family that serves you all to live the life that you want to live. So if it's like more healthy eating, bring the herbs into the kitchen, right? If it's for more exercise, like create a space that you just wake up and your yoga mat is rolled out, or you just press play on the music and you can dance when you wake up. Whatever it is, create the space. create the space in your schedule, create the space in your home, set yourself up for the way you want to live. Keeping your home clean, just on a practical level, cleaning the home is, so I like to use the natural cleaning products. Like I like to make some of my peppermint and tea tree oil and vinegar and soda bread, or at least I like to purchase the natural, more natural. I like to keep chemicals as much as possible out of the home and bring as much of the natural elements in. And, you know, if it's something you can do every once in a while and hire somebody in to do deep cleaning, if that's not your thing, and that can be a beautiful gift for you and your home as well. So create the areas in your home that lift you all up, that bring you more peace, that bring you that health and wellness, right? Create the space. Another way to raise the vibration in your home is the use of essential oils. So I love to use different essential oils. So what is the energy you want to bring in? So if it tends to be more relaxation and peace, maybe using the likes of lavender or rosemary, right? And frankincense, that's kind of your all-round oil, but that can be really grounding and centering as well. You can have diffusers in different areas of your home. You can diffuse the oils. If you want to kind of create more energy and uplift it, like peppermint and any of the citrus, like the orange or the lemon are really beautiful for uplifting the energies as well. And of course, you can have sage, and I like to make my own sage sprays. Like I'll get a glass, like a dark glass bottle, about 2 milliliters, and use about 18 drops of sage, and I'll have it as a spray to kind of cleanse and uplift the space. I love to bring crystals in to raise the vibration in the home, my personal vibration, and to bring that earth element in to create this really grounding space. And it depends, like turquoise is very powerful for healing, for support and travel and having more support in your life. Bloodstone, if you'd like more energy. Smoky quartz is very much so for protection and letting go. Rose quartz, love, healing the heart, forgiveness. Carnelian, creativity, fertility, working with the inner child. And then quartz crystal works for clearing the mind, clearing the space, and celestite is good for stress relief. So, I mean, there's lots of beautiful crystals. I really also suggest, like, if you have a crystal store near, you go and just like let it choose you. You choose it, and kind of there will be that connection and that like inner knowing in the crystals. So crystals can really raise the vibration in your home. And Feng Shui is really about connecting us with nature and the natural elements, right? So the more plants that we can bring in, the more crystals, like water fountains, opening the doors and the windows connects us with nature, which is healing us, which is bringing more of that presence, that stillness in, and that connection to where we come from. And then it's really important to keep your crystals nice and clear. So I love to place my crystals out in the full moon or the new moon. I like to cleanse them. You can hold them under running water as like a white light. You can put them out in the rain. You can sage them, spray them with sage spray, and just speak to the crystals, you know, and especially even when you buy them from the store, it's really nice to cleanse them. And then you can do such a thing as they call it charging the crystals. So basically, after you've cleansed them, it's almost setting the intention and guiding the crystal on what it is you'd like for them to support you with. So if it was rose quartz, say, I'd really love you to support aligning me with my love, or to deepen my loving relationship that I presently have, or to heal my heart, or whatever it may be. And so I don't think I'll ever teach a Feng Shui class and not mention decluttering, because it's just such an important part of Feng Shui. It's such an important part of life, right? Decluttering, just like, you know, when we're in the full season, the leaves are letting go. It's like Mother Nature knows intuitively that some things have to be let go of in order to create space for what we're ready to bring in. So I love to do regular declutterings, and I have 2 young children as well. And my daughter's always just constantly making things, right? And, you know, just creations, but there's like so much new creations in the home that and just within our lives, that it's really important to just, you know, I tend to do it on the full moon because that's the time of letting go, but just kind of doing little declutterings. There's that saying, when something new comes in, let go of something old, right? And then it's easier to keep the home flowing. So when there's a lot of clutter, right, it's hard for the energy to flow. And there's 9 different areas to our home, and the health area is the center. So you want to be especially careful that you don't have piles of clutter in the center. Clutter creates blocks. The energy cannot flow if there's piles of clutter. And clutter is anything you don't need, you don't use, and you don't love. Anything you haven't worn in more than a year. Things that are broken that you just can't fix. Things that don't honor you, that shouldn't be in the space. So find a way, somebody to pass it on to, for it to be recycled, consigned. Sometimes that certain things are just ready for the trash. So I want to do our best to do, as environmentally friendly as possible. And then monthly repairs on the home. So a huge part of Feng Shui is everything working well in the home, because our home is a reflection of how we're feeling. So leaking taps, right? They represent a loss of energy, as an abundance as well. But it's just anything that's leaking or cracked, it's representing a loss of our chi, a loss of our life force, a loss of that power from within. It's like a leak, right? So, and if a lot of light bulbs are burning out, it's like you really need to look like, am I overdoing it? Do I need to slow down? Do I need to pause? Like, am I feeling a little bit burnt out? So if you've got cracks in the windows, that's how you look out in the world. If one of the burners not working in the cooker, it's like, that represents the abundance. So to really represent vibrant health, we want to make sure everything in our home is working. It's like everything in our body is working, our spiritual body, our energetic body, our physical, our mind, our emotional body. So we really want to make sure that we declutter, and then that things, that we fix anything in the home. And we want to, like I said, bring as much natural elements as possible. So I love bringing candles, because that brings in the fire, which is like, that gives us energy, gives us that life force. It's like that sun energy. But I like to use more natural candles, and natural candles that have essential oils are beautiful, and candles give such a beautiful warm energy in the space as well. And then cleansing your home is really important. So lighting a candle is like opening sacred space. We talked about making a sage spray, right? And you can spray that around your home. We talked about opening up all the doors and windows. That's another way of cleansing your home. But I like to really intentionally do it. So I open up all the doors and windows. You can burn sage. You can have a nice singing bowl. You can have a bell. You can chant. You can have a special prayer that you like. And you just go throughout all your rooms. And I like to do it clockwise. So it's like moving forward in life. And set your intentions in every room, and ask that room be cleared of any lower vibrations. And you might think, oh, my home doesn't have any lower vibrations. But if you've had a cold, or you have a disagreement with somebody, or you're just not feeling great, or something happens, like things happen in life. It's just the way, right? So, and we process and we release and we have emotions, and it's really beautiful to keep the space nice and clear, so that way it doesn't get clogged up, right? So we can do that through sound vibration, singing, bells, even playing music in the house is a beautiful way to cleanse the space. And then, like we were talking about, bring nature inside, bring herbs in the kitchen. The smell is going to raise, like basil and rosemary and mint. I mean, it's going to create these incredible smells. And in Feng Shui, we want to energize the senses, right? So the smell, the touch of the plants and the leaves are beautiful. The visual of them is beautiful. They bring nature in, and we want to think of that sense of sound, right? So we want to create beautiful sounds, and a beautiful flowing fountain or something can be really nice. So sound, touch, and then taste, of course, having herbs and plants. I like to have a plant in every room. It takes away the carbon dioxide, gives oxygen, and creates so much beauty. And if there's empty corners, it's a beautiful way of kind of rounding that out and creating more flow in the space. Another huge way of supporting your health and wellness is EMFs, electromagnetic fields, right? So I suggest not really having any electrical equipment, if possible, in the bedroom, right? So the less in the bedroom, the better. So if possible, not having a TV in there. For some people, they would rather have a television. So if they do, I suggest, unplugging it at night and then just covering it, because unplugging it will take away the EMFs, and then covering it will stop that mirror effect, right? That happens when a TV is off. I like to have all the phones well away from the bedroom, the charging station, everything as far away, the furthest part of the house as possible, to minimize the amount of EMFs. And also, you're just going to sleep better with less EMFs. So that's really important for your health. And then also, like, you sleep better not having electronics right next to you, right, in the bedroom. Like I mentioned, reducing chemicals in the home, like not having a microwave. Lemon is really beautiful for cleansing the space as well. And salt is another beautiful way to cleanse the space. You could use water filters and water purifiers. So like Feng Shui is, it's not just about moving a sofa, right? It's really looking at all of the energy that's flowing or not flowing in the home, the energy that is flowing within us, in our soul, in our spirits, in our physical, emotional, mental body. And when our home is set up to really support us, like clean water, a clean environment with less chemicals and EMFs, these are all beautiful ways of supporting our health. Color is so important as well. Color feeds our soul. Color has the ability to raise our vibration or lower it. I remember I was walking in, this mom had called me over because her daughter was depressed, and she took me into the bedroom, and it was jet black. Like every single wall was jet black. There was blackout blinds, the curtains are drawn. She's like, I don't know what's going on with my daughter. She's depressed. And I was like, well, I would be depressed if I was sleeping in a room like this. And it's like, I really facilitate and support that, children, for example, get to choose what their room is like, but not to the extent where they're living in a dark cave, basically, So color psychology, yellow enhances the mood. Red is beautiful to activate passion, but too much can be stressful, right? Blue is very calming. A soft blue, green is very earthy and grounding, as is the kind of beiges and creams. So it's like, what color feeds your soul? Purple is that kind of beautiful for meditation, third eye energy. Green is for healing the heart. And white, that white brings in more the metal element and clear mind. So it's like, what feeds your soul? What would feed you? And are those colors in your space that lift you up and raise your vibration? So during the Feng Shui Your Life and the Feng Shui Master certification, we go really deep into color psychology and also working out what your trigram is based on your date of birth. So what are the colors and directions that automatically, support you? So yellow is like really energizing and uplifting, but way too bright a yellow can, be stressful, just like a bright red or something, so it depends also on the shade of the color. Orange is all that second chakra. So it's sensuality, but it's excitement. It's a lot of energy. So it depends exactly on the shade of it. I love salt lamps. And when the salt lamps have a candle in them, or they're ones that plug in, they release negative ions, which are the ions that we want to bring into our space. And they just have this beautiful calming glow, and you can see the crystals there and the plants. And then really looking at your artwork, and what is your artwork saying to you? And does it lift you up? And does it inspire you? And is it representing? That's the question to ask. What does it bring alive in you when you look at it? What does it evoke in you when you look at it? Does it bring you joy? Does it inspire you? And what does it inspire within you? Like, these are questions that we want to ask ourselves and not just unconsciously put something on the wall. Play music that you love in your space, dance around the space. These are all things that bring inner joy and raise the vibration in your home. And self-nurturing, like, in your bathroom, have beautiful Epsom salts, have essential oils there, like have some candles around the bath. And so this is, again, setting up your home in such a way that represents self-care, that represents self-love, that that creativity room, or an office that's really set up well for your work, right? And then I love having affirmations around the home, the affirmations that bring you home to yourself, having an altar set up in your space that invites you daily to connect with the divine, to connect with your highest self, to connect with your heart, to connect for guidance, to offer gratitude. And then on, having your rituals around the full moon, or whenever, like when you're clearing clutter, like what are you letting go of? Having maybe a daily journaling where you can just process whatever comes up, so you can just move through, and you can do this in your home and in your space as well. And I just want to say thank you, all of you, for being here. It was just gorgeous being with you all. So just sending so much love and gratitude to all of you. Thank you for being here. Bye, lovies.